spots around the city of New Orleans. We've gotten between 3 and 5 inches of rain, and I'll get you right to our radar so you can see what's happening. The great thing is, look at the radar. The rain is easing in New Orleans. The heaviest bits are now moving off to the east, and we do still have a flood advisory for much of St. Tammany Parish on the North Shore, but we are seeing things quieting down for New Orleans. So this is a really good thing. Again, I'll show you our rain totals in a second, but the green outline, that's where we have a flash flood warning, and that goes until 9:30 p.m. It's 7:35 right now, so we are seeing the rain at least thankfully easing at this point. So maybe even before 9:30, some of these issues should be resolved as the water will get to drain. But we are seeing, again, the rain lessening. It's still over New Orleans East, fairly heavy. It's around Chalmette. And again, it's in much of St. Tammany Parish and into the coastal areas of Mississippi, and especially farther north into Washington Parish and Pearl River County too. But again, if you're just joining us, yes, we have a flash flood warning. In fact, a rather significant one that will go until 9:30 because we've had between 3 and 5 inches of rain, with a little bit more tacked on even since that was issued a few minutes ago. But the rain is leaving. So this is a really good thing. In fact, if you look out toward Laplace, if you look toward Lutcher, those spots are showing much drier conditions now. And at Baton Rouge and other spots close to almost Hammond, now starting to see the rain really begin to diminish as well. So this doesn't mean that the water is automatically going to fall, of course. In fact, we've been hearing a few different issues with pumpings perhaps around New Orleans. So there are still going to be streets that have water over them, even though the heaviest of the rain is thankfully slacking off. Now, looking farther south, we do have rain over Plaquemines Parish, and we are seeing spots really around Port Sulphur and north to almost Belle Chase now, lessening with the rain. Let me show you some of these rain totals. These were what we saw today. The airport at Kenner, almost 2 inches. Now, this is as of 7 p.m. The lakefront recorded close to 4 inches. I would not be surprised if that is now above 4 inches. And then I've been checking our New Orleans spots from the city, and downtown recorded over 4 inches of rain. That was at the Riverwalk in downtown New Orleans. Belle Chase, over 3 inches of rain. And here we have our rain totals north of the lake. Baton Rouge, 1 inch. Slidell, almost 1 inch, although we are adding to this, and I wouldn't be surprised when we get our next update for this to be much higher. So if you are just joining us, once again, we have our flash flood warning for New Orleans, for the metro area itself. But thankfully, the heaviest rain is pushing east, so conditions should begin to improve. There's always a bit of lag time as the water is still going down to the lowest place, still draining, but it is a good thing that we don't have that heavy rain coming in any longer. Looking at our overall system and just kind of zooming out so you can take a look, a bigger perspective of what's happening. We have a big upper low, which is right now generally where this surface low is. It's swirling out here. I'll show you in a second. Well, I'll show you right now. Here it is. Here's the low swirling there over extreme North Texas. And then at the surface, you saw there's a surface low, and actually 2 of them, one near our coast. This is the one helping to send this rain to us right now, and then this one as well. And we're going to see both of these moving off to the east. So this one actually continuing to push east. Already we're seeing the change. So for example, this is our model 7 p.m. and then toward 10 p.m. and it's been doing a pretty good job. So throughout the evening, I've been saying before 10 p.m. and in fact, for some of us, it might be more like maybe, right now around 8 p.m. or even just before 8 p.m. Now, if you're in some of those spots where it is still coming down a bit heavier, you'll have to wait a bit later, maybe indeed toward 9 or 10 p.m. But again, this is slowly leaving, and New Orleans, thankfully, is done with the heavy rain for now. And in fact, let me show you quickly our model into tomorrow. It looks dry tomorrow. This is through lunchtime, and then we'll move into the afternoon. But this is the evening. So interesting to see our models developing a little more rain here south of the lake tomorrow evening. Now, this is not for daytime parades. If anything, there might be a stray sprinkle on a daytime parade, but it looks mostly dry. But after sunset, there could be one more return of a few showers, but this will be a quick moving thing as the surface low continues out to the east. This takes us into Monday morning, 8 a.m., couple showers, and then Monday during the day, we're drying out as the big low system moves out of our area completely. Let me show you one more model. This is our high resolution model, and we're at 7:39 is the current time. This is the model at 7:30. It's actually doing a really good job. It has about half of New Orleans drying out, and then the eastern parts of our area still with the rain, and that's very close to what we're seeing. And just wanted to show you our model by 9 p.m. Maybe a bit of rain for some extreme fringes of St. Bernard, or really more so into Harrison and Jackson counties in Mississippi, but even drying out for much of Hancock County. And then we'll fast forward to about midnight, and of course we're much drier. So if you're wondering, number one, are we done with the rain? Mostly we are done. We're not expecting any more big heavy rain to move in tonight or tomorrow, or indeed for the rest of the week. Now, interestingly, this model is showing that tomorrow during the day we're dry. We're fast forwarding to 5 p.m. So a lot of the parades, of course, that moved from Saturday to Sunday, looking much drier for Sunday. But look at this. This one also by 7, 8 p.m. has a few showers. Now, a big difference is it has it forming up along a line north of the lake and not quite as far south as that last model. But either way, it does look like we will have the chance for rain, I would say between about maybe 5 or 6 p.m. and about 8 or 9 p.m. One other thing quickly to show you while we're talking about our rain and going a little more in depth here. We do have now a high wind warning that's out. As this low is pushing past, it's really increasing the winds. And so you can see until midnight, the purple, bright purple shaded area could see gusts near 50 to 60 miles per hour. And we have actually already seen that at a few locations, especially for our coastal spots. We've seen some 50+ mile per hour wind gusts. So it is turning windy. These are current winds. You can see right now the highest gust at Gulfport nearing 40 miles per hour, sustained winds up to 20 to 25 or so miles per hour at the lakefront and Hammond. So we have both these things happening, the rain and the street flooding, and then the windy conditions as well. So just keep in mind, you might have a few of those high wind gusts tonight. After midnight, though, I have our winds slacking off at least a bit. And our temperatures right now in the 50s to lower 60s. And those should be falling as we get into the next few hours. And tomorrow morning, we'll be in the lower 50s. Highs tomorrow expected in the middle 60s. So again, if you're just joining us, just wanted to get you up to date on what's happening. Really nice at this point at 7:42 to see the rain passing off to the east of us. There's still some heavy rain for sure. And I'm starting to notice the great thing is, of course, where we've had a lot of street flooding reports around the New Orleans metro area. The rain is subsiding there, so that's a great thing. But I'm starting to notice some of the heavier rain right along the north shore of Lake Pontchartrain, so around Mandeville, but really more so Lacombe. Looks like it would be right in the middle of this heavier pocket. And then parts of Slidell, perhaps, especially if you're on the western side, north into Pearl River and Tallahassee. There's a pretty heavy band of rain that's moving up to the north there. One thing about the flash flood warnings, of course, is that it means either flash flooding is happening in streets or it's about to happen. And in this case, we've had many reports coming in of street flooding around New Orleans. Another thing is that it kind of just means it's not a great time to travel. So if you don't have to be on the roads, if you have a choice, I would definitely just kind of stay where you are and just have a little bit of a quieter night perhaps than what you were planning to do, especially if you're going, for example, around I-10, around the Twin Spans, heading into New Orleans and between Slidell and New Orleans. I would just, there's some pretty heavy rain here. So if you can wait maybe another, I would say maybe hour or so, that might be a good thing. And some of this heaviest rain here, which looks especially heavy right around Irish Bayou, this will have passed by that point. So again, this is our scene looking way better than before. And this is our south of the lake spots. This is our north of the lake parishes and counties. And again, it's nice to see at least this rain moving out. But again, just want to keep you aware that there are some pockets of very heavy rain still around North Shore spots. There's a flood advisory out as well north of Lake Pontchartrain. So not quite as severe as a flash flood warning like the green box for New Orleans, but still something to keep in mind, of course, especially in that part of St. Tammany Parish right now where the heaviest rain is ongoing. I-12 across the parish, looking pretty rainy right there. One thing we haven't had a huge amount of is lightning and thunder. There has been a bit, but mostly any stronger storms have been staying far south of our coast. So At least that has been something we did not have to contend with so much, but certainly the heavy rain we have had to work with tonight and deal with. So starting to see everything taper off a bit. If you're just joining us, just wanted to show you again those rain totals between 3 and 5 inches for a lot of spots, especially south of the lake, but north of the lake getting near an inch for a lot of spots as well. And we're seeing things tapering off as we speak. So it's 7:44 here. I'll go back to our live radar very quickly, and I'll say goodbye for now. Again, it's nice to see things are improving. It may take a bit for the pumps to catch up and for everything to return completely to normal after so many street flood reports from this evening, this rainy Saturday during Carnival in New Orleans. But again, it is a good thing at least that we have this starting to move to the east and thankfully leaving the New Orleans metro area at least alone at this point with the rain moving out. Again, not expecting any of this rain to return tonight once you finish with it, once it sweeps out of your area in the next couple of hours, if it hasn't already. Will be done for the night. Tomorrow we're looking dry for the most part, 60s, some clouds lingering, and as I mentioned, about a 30% chance for rain in the evening on your Sunday. So if you're out at parades all day, I think you'll be fine. If you're at the later parades after sunset at night, you may want an umbrella or some rain gear, as there's a chance for a couple of showers as the low itself passes over us, and maybe just brings a couple more of those showers on Sunday. But this is really it for the heavy rain. We're seeing it leave right now, and we're not really expecting more, at least for the next several days. So that'll do it for now. Thank you for joining me. I'm meteorologist Alexandra Cranford. I hope you have a good evening. We'll have much more on the WWL Louisiana news at 10 p.m. And of course, we'll have many more updates online and on social media. Take care.